Warriors! Good morning. It's Coach JV, your top health and mindset coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. You can probably repeat the last line. It's called preemptive programming. The more you repeat something, the more it gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. The more it gets ingrained in your subconscious mind, the more it becomes an unconscious activity. So I'm the warrior coach that has 9 different countries, about 800 warriors now. We're growing about 10 warriors per day. And I'm the man who loves God, follows the life of Jesus, is non-religious, and I accept every single human being. It doesn't matter if you're Mormon, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, whatever you are, we bring you and ask you to come as you are. But what we are doing is bringing all types of people together so we can rise together to become the uncommon 1%, and we can bring the money back to the people. But here's the thing, warriors. As I think it's, I can't remember who said it. I can't remember his name. But he said if we take $1 million and we give it to every single person, all the money would end up in the back in the same hands because people didn't change their subconscious mind. So as you look this way at a pandemic, there's a whole other narrative going on this way. And now what I'm going to take you through today is something Jerome Powell said last year. And then I'm going to take you through the World Economic Forum that I study on a daily basis. And they were talking about resetting the digital economy. And I'm going to talk to you about how I believe Ripple is going to be that reset. Now, I love Ripple because of my banking experience. 12 years in banking, vice president of bank, went to CBA Executive Banking School. I understand banking at a very deep level. I'm also not foolish. I'm not just investing in XRP, which is one of my biggest holdings, but I also have a broad portfolio of fundamental cryptocurrencies that are all moony. Every single crypto in my portfolio is to the moon right now. So my warriors are very, very happy with me. But I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. So let's get it kicked off. I know you guys love my long intros, but you know what? I freaking love you, and that's all that matters. All right, let's kick it off, warriors. So we're going to watch this. This was last year, November 12th, 2000. I'm so fired up today. You better wake up, warriors. Let's go. So November 12th, 2020. This is Jerome Powell, okay? Our head of the Fed. Listen to what he says, and I'm going to walk you through my narrative where I think we're heading. And we're all guessing. Every single YouTuber's guessing. Every single economist, everybody's guessing. Nobody knows what the Wizard of Oz is about to do. But the more you study and the more you know, and you know the game, you can be played. Let's go on a journey, warriors. Listen to what he says.
And this will lead to certain changes in economies. There are firms that will never recover from the crisis. There are potentially sectors that may never recover from the crisis. We won't be traveling as much, for example. What worries you most about the long-term impact?
I would agree that what this crisis is in the process of doing is it is accelerating a lot of pre-existing technological change. So technological change raises productivity generally, and over long periods of time, those gains tend to be broadly shared. But in the short term, that may or may not be the case. And
Okay, so think about what he just said. I'll narrate this for you. So last year, technological change, the 634 richest people in the world became way more wealthier as you struggled.
Many others. We'll leave social media out of it, by the way, in terms of adding to productivity. Not sure I would say that for social media. But for other kinds of technology, I would say it. And in this particular situation, I would worry that the changes, we're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy. And it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
Okay, so if you knew what Jerome Powell is saying, we are coming back, but to a new economy. This is in 2020 November. Look how much has changed since then. We're in the biggest bull run in history. He's saying to you, he's telling you, you're coming back to a new economy, and I worry about the people. Think about it. So where would you be investing your money? In gas and oil? Think about it. He's telling you the answer to where to go.
Who, as Andrew just mentioned, it's relatively low-paid public-facing workers in the service sector who are bearing the brunt. This is largely minorities and women, or skewed toward minorities and women, and relatively low paid. So those people are going to struggle to get back to work in their old jobs, or in many cases in new jobs. So, I think you'll see more telework. You'll see probably the acceleration of automation. All of that was in the process of happening, but you're going to see much more of it. And I guess that for me, the main takeaway from all of this is that even after the unemployment rate goes down and the economy is, and there's a vaccine, there's going to be probably a substantial group of workers who are going to need support as they find their way in the post-pandemic economy, because it's going to be different in some.
He's telling you right there. He's literally signaling to you. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be different, but we're not watching this. This only has 10,000 views, Warriors. He is telling you it's going to be different. Your life is going to not be the same. Middle class is going to get wiped out. They're going to keep giving you stimulus checks to keep you happy, but Warriors, this is your time. This is your time to become the uncommon 1%. Okay, so now this was on March 6th. This is Resetting Digital Currencies. Option 2, Davos Agenda 2021. Okay, now this gentleman is talking about digital currencies, but listen to the keywords. I slow things down, I write down notes, and there's 2 keywords that he said, and I'm going to tell you why I think Ripple is a solve.
About, in China's case there, about what happens within China, but there's this bigger question about how will they be used across borders, and what risks and opportunities may lie.
You're going to need to stick with me. We're going to listen to everything he says. It's going to be at the end of what this gentleman says.
For that cross-border commerce with this technology.
Cross-border commerce.
Thanks, Michael. Maybe just to take a step back, I would say central banks, the majority of central banks are now actively exploring the issue of central bank digital currencies. But it's not a foregone conclusion that most central banks will issue CBDCs, be they wholesale or retail CBDCs. The fundamental issue that we are responding to is the rise of e-commerce, the upending of whole industries as a result of digitization of payments, sales, delivery.
Okay, they're telling you everything, Warriors. We're not coming back to new economies. Sales, delivery, e-commerce.
And together with e-commerce, you now have new means of payments and new payment providers that are emerging. So the old world of cash on the one hand, notes and coins, and bank account-based payments, the traditional two-tier payment system comprising the central bank and commercial banks. That old system is being disintermediated by new players. But the biggest and most fundamental driver is in the real economy. E-commerce is now a major force. And the old world of currency needs to catch up with this new reality. The second thing that central banks are responding to.
So what do you think? What do you think? Why do you think France is considering XRP? Why do you think XLM is being picked up by some countries like Warriors? This is happening right now, fast and furious, right now.
Comes out of the first, which is that there's been tremendous innovation in the private sector, particularly outside the banking system in the first instance. New non-bank players have emerged, in some cases, like in China, as formidable competitors. In many other places, they are very often the most innovative players and the fastest growing players. That horse, or that set of horses, has bolted the stable, and central banks are now trying to figure out how they intervene in that race. That's the second.
So he just signaled to you, it's already started. The central banks are just trying to get in the race as quick as possible.
Major change, and the last 10 years especially, have seen that whole new horse race starting. Now, inherent in the network economics or the network externalities that come out of both e-commerce as well as these new private payment systems or ecosystems is that there's an advantage in market power. The more competitive you are, the bigger you get, and the bigger you are, the more data you have from consumers, and the more market power you acquire. So there are serious issues to do with emerging monopolies, not yet present globally, I would say, but That's where it'll come to. And of course, China is a very good example.
Okay, now you need to pay attention, Warriors. This is the word you have to listen for. Watch.
And also serious issues to do with the fact that these are typically, as they get larger, closed-loop ecosystems. They are walled gardens, in other words.
Okay, so closed-loop ecosystems, closed off, monopolies. Listen.
And what we have to do in the interests of a vibrant, competitive, and efficient
even playing field
payment system is to restore biodiversity.
Inclusive.
You can't have walled gardens constituting your national payment system. You need biodiversity and you need interoperability. And
biodiversity, interoperability, even playing field, non-monopoly. Okay, so you got Jerome Powell saying we're coming back to a brand new economy leveraged by technology. Middle class is going to get wiped out. You have this gentleman saying interoperability, biodiversity. Now, are people paying attention that closely? Well, let's see. What does Ripple solve? What does Ripple solve, Warriors? Interoperability is key. That's exactly what he said, to unlocking the networks of networks. The power of blockchain to reduce friction and enhance trust between two parties on either side of the business transaction has already had major commercial impact. Digital asset lessons that need for expensive counterparties in transactions. Instead, they can trust digital assets to move money before it reaches its destination. The faster the transaction and the greater the transparency, powered by power-generated cost savings and boosted productivity across a range of industry, most notably financial payments, trade finance, and supply chain logistics. Yet creating faster, cheaper payments network or smarter supply chains barely scratches the surface when it comes to blockchain's potential. The truly informative impact will be when individual networks come together to form a network of networks that will change how interconnection industries transact with each other. Okay, for example, a container ship arriving at a port will automatically kickstart a chain of events that results in a supplier receiving an instant payment and insurance company ending its coverage. This automated interaction will allow companies to pursue opportunities faster while creating completely new business models to explore. Warriors, work is already underway to resolve the problem. ILP, Interledger Protocol, is an open protocol suite designed to allow value to be transferred across networks. It works by subtracting the difference between these networks, much like how IP makes technologies like Ethernet and Wi-Fi compatible. With interoperability, what did he say? We will not limit by specific technology of an individual blockchain, but can create interconnections, experience that solve more problems and open up the networks. Okay, so Ripple is solving that problem, Warriors. That's what interoperability is all about. Now, another thing to think about too is the fact that they become more carbon-free, carbon neutral, right? So we're moving to carbon-free by 2030. That's the whole thing, right? And so look at this. So Ripple is one of the few that is moving towards a carbon-free powered blockchain. What did he say? Biodiversity, Warriors. So Ripple solves all these problems. Cross-border payments, right? You got biodiversity. The XRP ledger has become one of the first carbon-free blockchains. The news was announced today by XRP Ledger Foundation. This is an old video or old article. Ripple and Energy Web. The foundation has purchased Energy Attribute Certification, EAC, similar to renewable energy certifications, to cover the power used by the network for the year. The certification funnel money to renewable energy providers subsidize their electric generation. With this announcement, we're turning the blockchains use too much energy issues completely on its head by converting entire blockchain networks into direct investors, and this is important. By converting entire blockchain networks into direct investors into zero carbon renewables. This is freaking amazing. XRP Ledger Foundation is a new organization set up last week to support Ledger functionings. We'd speculate that one of these reasons for creating the foundation is to demonstrate that Ripple doesn't control XRP, but both the foundation and the purchase of EACs have been financially supported by Ripple, Ripple Fund, and the Coil and Great Hub. Proof of this work of blockchain such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are notorious for excessive amounts of energy. Energy Web states that the top 5 public blockchains use 170 terawatts hours of electricity per year, more than the state of New York, warriors. Think about this. Now we have everything's coming out slowly. You're just getting bits and pieces, and we're bringing it all together. Ripple pilots private ledger. We already announced this news for central banks. People are freaking out about this, but they're getting it ready, warriors. They're running a private ledger. There probably will be something for institutional investors, or excuse me, accredited investors, right? Who knows how it's going to end up with the SEC lawsuit? But remember, that's just happening in America. I've been saying that XRP, I believe, is going to be the bridge currency for the world. I've been saying that XRP, I believe, is going to be put into the SDR bags of currencies. Now, if these things don't make sense to you, that's when they come, that basically becomes part of the currencies like the US dollar, right? I believe XRP has the ability to either back the US dollar or be able to move money across the rails for all central banks. And I believe they're all going to work together. People are saying it's one or the other, Bitcoin or Ethereum or XLM. They're all going to work together, warriors, just like the Internet of Things. We had the Internet, and then you have Google, you have Facebook, you have all these different companies working together to create a new internet, right? Okay, another thing too, these are old news, warriors, but July 17th, the Federal Reserve Task Force, Ripple improved speed and transparent global payments. I just wanted to remind you, this was happening back in 2017. This has been going on for a while. Today, after 2 years of work, the Federal Reserve released its Faster Payments Task Force. This was back in 2017, warriors. And I want to leave you with this right here. So this is a presentation that I showed the Warriors, and we found this presentation when the Warriors sent it to me, John Rotundo, and this is amazing. So Interledger, enabling interoperability. What did he say? Interoperability in this video right here. Okay, he said interoperability, enabling interoperability across platforms. This is exactly what he explained. This gentleman right here explained. Resetting digital assets, we need interoperability and biodiversity. Ripple XRP Ledger, this is what it's going to look like. This is what I believe it's going to look like, all working together. You got R3, you got Google, you got PayPal, Tesla, IBM, all these companies working together. You got Amazon. XRP is the bridge for all of this. Think about it. It's like the SWIFT system, right? And I don't think it's going to knock SWIFT system out. I think they're all going to work together. You got XRP, Algorand, you got R3, you got XLM, all working together, and JPM Coin to bring us the new banking system. There's 7 billion people in the world. Think about how many businesses are. You can't just have a monopoly of one company doing everything, warriors. So you have to make informed decisions. That's the key. But I'll tell you what, warriors, they are telling you exactly where we're going. And if you don't want to get left behind, warriors, we've got a Warrior Academy. We're coming up on 800 warriors, 9 different countries. I think it's 10 countries now. But down below, you can join either our free Facebook group or our private Warrior Academy. Now, what do you get in the private Warrior Academy? We basically show you my portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but my portfolio is in there. Okay, I show you every single time it changes. This Thursday, we developed a really strict organized exit strategy for our warriors. We're teaching our warriors emotional discipline and how not to get wrecked in the marketplace, because as easy as you can make money, as quick as you're going to get wrecked. Most people don't win because they don't have an exit strategy. Yes, we're going into the biggest bull run in history, but also a lot of people are going to get wrecked because they're not going to know when to get out. They don't have the emotional intelligence in investing to get out. So we have exit strategies that'll be built out this Thursday. We have a cryptocurrency call every single Thursday. We have a Discord with over 600 warriors in it. But people much smarter than me, cryptocurrency courses, beginner courses, subconscious mind programming on wealth. And the best part is you get to work out live with us daily. We do your nutrition and subconscious mind programming and goal setting. It is the most comprehensive program in the market. You're going to have access to that. You'd be shocked on how much it is, warriors. It is cheap. It is not cheap in price. It's cheap in price, but not cheap in value. But we offer 100% money back guarantee. We just want to surround you with the 800 warriors to help you rise together. If you want to be part of the best community in history, go down the link below. I love you. But remember, don't let me love you more than you love yourself. Warriors, rise, let's go.